Time in YouTube, and welcome back to Deck Profiles. Today we're going to be looking over the deck that won the St. Louis Regionals, and that is Mega Rayquaza, built and helmed by Alex Wilson. Now this deck is an expanded format deck, so please be advised that I'm not going to be the best at building or playing this one. This is actually my first attempt at playing expanded, barring maybe a couple of local games I have with a few of my friends that, you pull out a few extra cards because you got them. But this is my first attempt at playing competitively on the TCGO in expanded, so just keep that in mind, guys. But for today, we have the Mega Rayquaza EX, 220 HP, colorless Pokemon. He's a Mega with Delta Evolution. You may play this card from your hand the turn 1, or a turn that technically it couldn't evolve. It has Emerald Break as its attack. For 3 colorless energy, you get to do 30 times the amount of Pokemon that are on your bench. So that's a lot of potential damage. Next up, we have the Dragonite EX, 180 HP, colorless Pokemon, basic. It has the ability Pull Up. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may put 2 basic Pokemon from your discard pile back onto your hand, barring Dragonite EX. But there's only one of them, so we can't do that anyway. His Hyper Beam, 4 colorless energy, 130 damage, discard energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon, but the likelihood is we really don't want to attack with him. We do want to attack with Rayquaza. Next up is going to be, quick side note, we have 2 of the regular colorless EX Rayquaza and 1 of the we have the Dragon one. I'm not familiar with the deck in terms of why, but we will see in play if it works out for us. It probably will. Next up, we have 4, count them, 4 Shaman. I didn't even have enough full art Shaman to do this. 4 Shaman EX with 110 HP, colorless Pokemon, basic. With the ability set up, you can draw your hand back up to 6, and has Sky Return for 2 colorless energy, 30 damage. Return this Pokemon, all cards attached to it, back to your hand. The likelihood is we are probably going to land a first turn Shaman, but being as we have colorless Pokemon for the most part, it'll be alright. We have 1 Execute, 30 HP colorless Pokemon with Propagation. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in your discard pile, you may put this Pokemon into your hand. This is really good for some of the other cards that we have, and I'm surprised he's only running 1 copy. He has Jirachi EX, 90 HP Steel type with the ability Stellar Guidance. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may search your deck for a supporter card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck afterwards. It also has Hypnotic Strike. Hypno Strike. 1 Steel, 2 colors, 60 damage. Both this Pokemon and the defending Pokemon are now asleep. We're not going to be able to use Hypno Strike. This card will probably be completely negated once Tapu Lele comes out, because Tapu Lele gets that ability plus a better attack plus a GX attack that if you're a Psychic deck can you actually use. And it's got a higher HP stat. Next up is a Giratina. This is to counter those breaks, those Greninjas, those... I don't know what else is in expanded. I really don't. You have 130 HP Psychic Pokemon, and all we're going to be using is Devour Light. Each Pokemon break has no abilities. Done. It literally is just to counter, as far as I know, it's to counter Greninja. That's it. We've got 2, count them, 2 Hoopa EX, 170 HP Psychic Pokemon with Scoundrel Ring. When you play this Pokemon onto your bench, you can search your deck for 3 EX Pokemon, excluding Hoopa, of course, and put them into your hand. You also have Hyperspace Fury, 3 Psychic. You can discard, that don't matter, we're not going to be using it. We only have Water Energy. I guess that's for Keldeo, which is our next mon here, who could potentially be another attacker. 170 HP, Water-type Pokemon with Rush In. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may switch this Pokemon with your active. It has Secret Sword, 50 damage, plus 20 more for each Water Energy attached to it. You have 3 energy cost. It's a good card. We've seen Keldeo before. Now, for the trainers, there's a lot of stuff here that we have not seen before. So keep that in mind when I go through this for some of you, because obviously I know some of you probably skip the trainer part, because let's be honest here, it's usually the same stuff all the time. But being as it's expanded, I have a few additional tips in this one. So we have Battle Compressor. I love this card. Absolutely love this card, and I'm sad that it's out of rotation. Search your deck for up to 3 cards and discard them. That's it. Just discard them. But this gets us out, Execute. It gets us out the cards that we don't, the supporters that we don't need right away, so we can VSD kill them. You have computer search. Discard 2 cards from your hand, and then search your deck for any card you want, and put it in your hand, shuffle your deck afterwards. It is an ace spec, so we can only use 1 copy of this card, which is sad, but true. Next up is 3 Mega Turbo. Attach a basic energy card from your discard pile onto one of your Mega Pokemon, so these can only be used on our Mega Rayquaza, which is fine. We have 4 Trainer's Mail, 4 Ultra Ball, and 4 Via Seeker. Pretty much standard stuff in most decks nowadays. We are running 4 Skyfields because getting that high bench space is important, because that is our damage output. If we don't have Skyfield, we're not maxing our damage, and that is very important for us to do. We have 1 AZ, put one of your Pokemon into your hand. This literally will grab us like a Shaman, or get the ability to reuse Dragonite, or again to reuse Jirachi. It's a really good card and very, very important in certain situations. We have 1 Colress. Now this card is amazing with Skyfield because you get to shuffle your hand back into your deck and draw a card for each basic Pokemon in play. Now if you have 8 Pokemon on your side and 8 Pokemon on the bench. If you have 8 and 8, you could potentially draw 16 cards with Colress. It's incredible and it's very powerful with Skyfield. Next up we have Getsis. Your opponent reveals their hand and shuffles all item cards found there into the deck. Then you draw a number of cards equal to the number of... I might be wrong on this, but just the way I'm reading it, it says draw a number of cards equal to the amount of item cards that they've shuffled in. So if this is like a turn 1 supporter, again, I'm very new to Expanded. This could be like a complete and utter overhaul. If Getsis happens, your opponent has no items and you get more cards? Just seems pretty evil, which Getsis is kind of evil. Anyway, moving on, we have 2 Hex Maniacs. Until the end of your opponent's next turn, each Pokemon in play in each player's hand and each player's discard pile has no abilities. Very, very important since we don't really run a lot of abilities that are going to affect our end turn. Like, we don't want to Hex Maniac and then go for abilities. That's just silly. Next up, we have a counter to Vespiquen, which is Karen. Each player shuffles all Pokemon in his or her discard pile into their deck. Very, very good card. We have Lysander. Switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active. Very, very clutch. Very, very important. We only have 1 N. Each player shuffles his or her hand back into their deck and then draws cards equal to the amount of remaining prize cards. I think this is just due to the fact that we have so many Shaman. We should be able to, like, turn 1, turn 2, get ourselves set up and ready to go. We have 2 Floatstones. The Pokemon this card is attached to has no retreat cost. This is exactly meant for Keldeo. This gives it free retreat, gets us the ability to rush in, all those kind of wondrous things, and we can throw it on a hoop if necessary. We have 3 Spirit Links for Rayquaza so we don't lose our turn. We have 4 Double Colorless Energy to get those strong attacks out early, and we also have 3 Water Energy to either be used on Keldeo or Battle Compressor Mega Turbo onto the Rayquaza for like a turn 1 Mega Rayquaza attack. It could happen, guys. It could happen. I don't know. But either way, that is the deck. Like I said, Alex Wilson definitely won St. Louis Regionals with this deck. So we know this deck has huge potential, huge, incredible power behind it. And it's just a matter of can I helm it as well as he did. And we're about to see that in 2 fantastic matches on TCG Online. And our first match is against Finluca, playing a fire deck of some sorts. We are going to go tails on the coin toss, and we're going to get it. I'd like to go second. This way I have that opportunity to attack if necessary. We do get the race start, which is exactly what we're going to have. And as long as our opponent doesn't end touching wood, my desk is made of wood, I should be okay. I have a nice opening hand. I can drop the Spirit Link. I can get the double colorless down. It's going to be a Volcanion form. But there should be a water energy in there too if it's actual Volcanion. Unless it's a different thing and you're just using Volcanion to get the energy. That is a potential. We're going to see how. How do you do? Okay, so our opponent has a Volcanion. Interesting start. Drop that down. Drop that down. Drop that down. Do I Ultra Ball everything away and just use Shaman? Why not just Shaman first and then use the Ultra Ball? Because obviously I have tool cards that I can use. Alright. I'm gonna Ultra Ball the Lysander and the Trainer's Mail away. And we want to get a Hoopa. A Hoopa-pa-pa. Now I can easily just drop this down. I can get a Keldeo. Yes. I can get Shaman. No Keldeo. Every time... Now, this is not the first game I've been playing. I've done a whole bunch of games on the recording that just don't work out. And every time I have a Floatstone in hand, Keldeo is prized. I'm not even lying there. I need a Mega Ray, I think. Yes, I need a Mega Ray. Let's grab Mega Ray. And let's just grab another Ray. No, let's grab Jirachi, so I can actually get a supporter that I want to use. My opponent has tons of cards in hand. I can potentially get this right now. So we can first turn Mega Evolve, which is great. We can go down here. Go with this. We're going to get the Getsis. Mind you, you didn't use a lot of items, but we don't really need to use a supporter right now. I do have a Shaman still in back. So let's go with the Getsis. Our opponent has a Team Flare Grunt, Cillian. Crushing Hammer is gone. Get rid of that Crushing Hammer. Do not want. Do not want. Shaman drop. Can we get a turn 1 win here? It is possible if we can get Battle Compressor, and that's not going to work. I needed a Battle Compressor and a Water Energy in the discard. I'm actually just gonna pass. I know she's gonna Team Flare Grunt. That is the best play for her to do right now, is to try and slow me down. I do have there it is, the Team Flare Grunt. It does make up. It makes her use her supporter though for the turn. Does play the Volcanion. Did they draw the Talonflame after? I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna just drop our double colorless energy down here. We can drop a Floatstone down onto Hoopa, because you're the biggest one. I can bring back my Shaman. Drop Shaman, get more cards. I still need more stuff. Like, I need a lot of stuff. There's the Battle Compressor. So I can Battle Compress, execute, I can get rid of Water Energy, and I can get rid of... I still don't really know what you're playing. I'm going to get rid of the Giratina, because I don't think I need it, but can I VS-Seek into anything that actually would be worthwhile? No, I think in terms of supporting, I am good. So let's get rid of the no, that's a Hoopa. Get rid of the Giratina. We can Ultra Ball. Hold on. Let's do this properly. Propagate. Go for an Ultra Ball on my Execute and my Ultra Ball. Get a Shaman, or no, I can get a Hoopa, can I? Yes, get the Hoopa, and this will get me more cards for the field. More damage onto this table. I feel really bad for my opponent right now, sitting here with a one attacker. We can get a Ray and a Ray. I guess so. This will just give us tons of damage output. We got 5 on the board. Dragonite may not make it to the board today. That's okay. Not really necessary anyway. Shaman drop. Come on! Need that Mega Turbo. Does not matter. We got it. We got this. We win. I'm going to say good game. I can say well played. Because we're going to ditch this, get a nice Mega Turbo, and that will seal this deal. 1 turn attack. Well, okay, this is 2 turns. They did they did team player grunt us. Down goes the Mega, and down goes the Volcanion! 240 damage, turn 2. We pick up a Karen. That is going to be our first match of the day. I know it seems like an odd thing to have where it was just a one-mon person not getting a lot of turns. But I'm really just trying to showcase what this deck can do. And now we'll try and find a match where it's like, oh my god, that was a match you guys want to see. Because we did everything we needed to do. We showcased everything but Keldeo, because Keldeo was prized. And Keldeo just does not like to come to the field when I have a Floatstone in my hand that I can use him with. But with that being said, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this first match, seeing kind of the intricate details of what this deck can do, how fast it can get not only a full bench, but the amount of damage out you need to go for some first turn wins. So either way, let's get into game number 2 and see what we can do now. Alright guys, we are back for our second match against Super Mammo Swine Z. He's got that Z power ready to go. Now, we are hoping to actually finish a match here. The only match I have finished in 2 hours of play is that first match you guys saw. Everybody tends to like to quit in expanded format, I think. So we're going to try and get this going. Oh, this is the worst opening hand I've probably seen. I've probably done like 20-30 games now. And I'll show you guys the results when we're done. And again, my voice, or not again, you guys haven't heard it yet, but my voice is actually lower because my neighbor's sleeping. There you go, done. And anyway, we have no Pokemon, so we're gonna have to, actually, we got like nothing I can go off of here, so I might just have to pull out the N off that battle compressor. But it looks like my opponent is playing Volcanion, just due to all the Volcanion merch, barring the Chansey coin. It's actually going to be an Eevee. Yeah. Well, we can go for a battle compressor to get rid of stuff right now. The one Pokemon I'd like to get rid of is prized. Or Execute's prized. Well guys, we're in problem. We're in problem mode. Okay, we're going to get rid of these guys, because I don't need any of them. And as much as my Jirachi is going to get me something, it's not going to get me anywhere fast. So Jirachi can get me a supporter, but I might just Hex Maniac and hold off anyway. Or I can get this. Karen, Lysander. I can grab Lysander. And I'm just going to Hex. I'm just going to Hex. That's all I can do turn 1. But it's going to stop my opponent from being able to energy evolve or anything like that. It's going to slow him down another turn, just like we are. We're really slow right now. We have a pretty bad hand, but we have opportunities here. It's not out. If I can get a Pokemon like a Hooper or Shaman next turn, we're actually going to be okay. We're going to see that our opponent is going to drop a Floatstone onto the Eevee. That really makes me think it's Umbreon. Just do the strafe attack. Makes me really think it's Umbreon. It's fighting in water. So we do not see what I'm thinking out of the energy drops. We're going to see the water drop onto the Eevee, but of course it can't evolve. We're going to get a computer search, which is absolutely fundamental. This is going to get us that Hoopa that we need. Skyfield, you don't need to exist. I already have that. There's only... Oh man, everything's prized here. We have a Hoopa prized. So our real energy acceleration is like nonchalant. It's not here. We're actually going to do this properly. I'm not going to get a Mega Ray just yet. I want to get that Keldeo Floatstone down. And that way I can Shaman up everything I need to early. So we're going to get the Rayquaza down, the good old Keldeo down, the Floatstone down. This way I can at least retreat if necessary. We have a lot of card draw here, and we might still have a game. We might actually still have a good game here. We can drop a Double Colorless on you. You didn't really have much else going for you, so I'm going to drop a Floatstone down onto the Hoopa. I have 5 cards on the bench, but it'd be probably better just for me to end. But my opponent doesn't have a great hand, I don't think. Let's end. I know they grabbed energy. That's the better play. It is the better play. I get an additional card. And I have that opportunity still to attack if everything goes right. Now, did we drop a water energy? We did. We can Mega Turbo. Actually, we can attack. We have the game, guys. We have the game. Now this is literally how fast this game goes. As much as this seems weird, I'll hold this one and I'll try and get a third match in. But literally, this is if the game lasts longer than like one turn, it's because they don't have anything. Rayquaza setup, turn 1 attack. It's been one turn, and Rayquaza wins. This is absolutely amazing and broken how fast my opponent built this deck, or in terms of what it does. And like you can see on our ring, this is how many times we've won. I've won all this barring one so far, and we got the ticket that time. But before we go into the next match, I just want to show you guys the statistics on this deck right now. Like I've won so much off of this. So if you guys are planning to build an expanded deck, go for this right now. Because overall wins is 16 wins out of the 24, so we've lost 8 matches, and that's more along the lines of some of those were just not even deck problems. It was just recording problems of like not starting properly, or just it was just eh. I'm sure the deck could have actually pulled through, so that's a pretty good resource of showcasing just how many wins. Like I had 0 today. I've won 16 times today in the last 2 hours. So just keep in mind that there you go. That is a fantastic deck to start playing. But I will give you guys a game 3 and hopefully get at least something better, even if it ends in someone quitting. I just want to showcase a fun game between this and another deck, and it hasn't happened yet. I just wanted to showcase some of the stuff because we actually got a game that finished. But I'll be back in just a moment. Alright guys, match number 3 is against Dankman 901 playing a grass deck. Okay, like I said, this is our final match regardless of the case. We're gonna play it, see what we can do here. Hopefully pull through with a win, because again, Rayquaza is just amazing. We have a pretty darn strong hand, barring the Rayquaza, but I can get that with the Hoopa, so we're just gonna drop a Shaman up in the front. This gives me the opportunity to kind of get Keldeo out early. Choose a bench Malms. No, we don't want any. Our opponent's actually mulliganing and has playing Lurantis. So can we play against Lurantis? I hope so. All I can say is I hope so. But we've had 2 matches that pretty much went one Pokemon in and they were done. Hopefully it's not the case here. Hopefully my opponent does get a board state. We get another Golden Ultra Ball, which is fantastic. We are going to drop Hoopa first. This gives us the opportunity to Mega Evolve turn 1. We're going to grab another Shaman, Keldeo, and we need a basic Ray, which is good. That's really all we need. So we got a 3rd Shaman already. My opponent doesn't know that, but I do. We're going to drop you down, drop you down, drop you down. I can Ultra Ball. I can Ultra Ball to get to Getsis. I think that's what I want to do. So I'm going to Jirachi into... Am I going to Jirachi right now? I think that's my best play. Because I can't attack. I got no energy. Now I do have card draw still, so that is part of what I'm planning here. But if I can get my Getsis right now, I can potentially slow my opponent down and get a little bit card draw. Not too much. My opponent has nothing. Well, I at least saw that my opponent has Lurantis. We're going to go for a Shaman drop here. We're hoping for a Sky Stadium energy. Yeah. I didn't get much of any of that. But I can drop a Water Energy down onto my Mega Ray, and we'll be able to kind of protect ourselves for next turn. Just got VS Seeker, nothing I can do there. And that, unfortunately, is our turn 1. Okay, now my opponent does know he can take out Keldeo in one shot due to me being weak to it. So I gotta keep that in mind. My opponent cannot evolve. He does have a Shaman, so if he gets a Forest or Giant Plants, he will try and item lock me ASAP. And I'm thriving on like quick game item lock. Item lock really does put in the damage here. My opponent does have a Lugia EX as well, and another Shaman. So we're gonna see our opponent gets tons of cards here. He doesn't know that I do have another Shaman in back, but if he does end or any of that right now, that would be fantastic. Because my hand is kind of poop. and I played the wrong... Oh, I have a Colress back. I actually can Colress. That's alright. Maybe Colress would have been the better play over the Jirachi gets this. But I was trying to slow my opponent down. So, I'm not really in a position where I could have attacked anyway. We're going to see the Synthesis, which is just going to draw cards, and they're going to be putting them onto that Lugia, which is fine. My opponent might be playing a Lurantis support and putting it onto the Lugia, but we're going to see one energy drop onto that Lugia. We get a Trainer's Mail. It's going to be a Mega Turbo AZN. What do I want? I already have a Mega Turbo. And I'm just going to Colress anyway. So I guess in this regard, I don't really care. But I could grab my Shaman. No, I can't do that, because if I'm going to Colress, I can't do it. I can't do it. I was going to AZ up my Shaman. Obviously, it's not going to work if I want to Colress as well. So we're just going to Colress for 8. We get a nice turn of events here. Skyfield is going up. We are going to drop a double colorless energy down onto Rayquaza. Come on, Floatstone. Come on, baby. No Floatstone. Lysander, though, I'll take it. But unfortunately, we do have to wait a turn. We cannot retreat. But I can Colress again. I have the VS Seeker to do it. If I get an Ultra Ball, I might be good on that. My opponent does get the opportunity to evolve into Lurantis, does get that Ultra Ball off, and might start getting that Vileplume line going. We're actually going to see the Vileplume get dipped. He might just be looking for some raw power, because he knows how fast Rayquaza can be in this format. And like you see, we already have 5 down with a Skyfield. Oh, now we're not going to get hurt by this Skyfield, but my opponent does play a Force of Giant Plants. We do have another Skyfield in the back, and that's why I didn't want to discard it too quickly. But if he does go for it, he's actually just going to opt to go for the Flower Supply, which is going to get him 1 Grass Energy onto probably the Lugia, is my assumption. So if I can set up 1 more card onto the bench, I'm going to Lysander in that Lugia. That's actually going to go onto the Fomantis in the back, which is probably a good play. This actually does make me want to Colress. I'm going to ditch my double colorless energy, sadly, so I can retreat into my Ray. I wish I had my Floatstone at that point, but we do not. I have to Colress because I do need additional cards to get damage out. Because I don't have enough damage to even one-shot the Lugia yet. I'm still 1 Pokemon shy, and now I've got everything I could possibly want. So Rayquaza is going to come on down. We can play Dragonite. Now we're at 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. So I'm going to hold on to the 2 Pokemon in my hand. I don't really need to play too much else, especially in case my other Ray goes down. I can get some stuff back later. But we are going to take out this Lurantis right now before he's too set up. And we're going to claim 2 prizes here. One being a double colorless energy and a Floatstone, which is exactly what we need for our Keldeo. Now he's going to bring in that Fomantis. We cannot Lysander. Cannot Lysander because I do not have it in the discard pile. That was 1 card I did not get in the discard pile yet. We're going to see the Revitalizer is going to bring him back the full line, so he'll be able to actually evolve again, get that grass energy that was in the discard pile, and he's really in turn. He was literally just in the turn he was in prior. He can't go for too much damage, and he knows I'm in one-shot KO range of Lurantis, so he needs to try and set up that Lugia, but he's really slow on that energy grab. I don't know if it's just the energy, and he's going for that Fomantis again, potentially knowing that I can take it out. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to drop a Floatstone onto Keldeo. Grab nothing here really that I need. So unfortunately I'm just going to have to pass on the cards in my hand. I don't really need a lot. I'm going to Hex Maniac though. This way any abilities he can go for are going to be nullified. And I'm just going to go for the Emerald Break right now, which will take out this Lurantis. We're actually hitting it for exact amount of damage. We get the computer search, which is absolutely fantastic because we can search for the good old Lysander now, and we don't have to. He's got Lurantis in the hand. He's going to go for his Flower Supply, but that is actually the game. We kept that Lurantis in check all game, and there's just nothing he could do. I'm just going to say, oh, there we go. He gave up the game. That was our third match for this episode. It has been a fantastic episode showcasing just how strong this Rayquaza deck is. I got to show you the statistics on my deck, and like I said, I got another win right after, and it was just easy, like boom, easy mode. Like there was no strats or anything. Like once you know how to play this deck, like yeah, my first game might have been a little like, oh, I made a misplay here or there, but once I finally started getting used to this deck and knowing what cards to go for and which situations to really pay attention to, this deck runs amazing. And again, it's huge shout out to Alex Wilson for building it. Well, I don't know if he built it, but helming this to his St. Louis win in his regionals. So again, congratulations to him. This deck is absolutely fantastic. We're going to be looking at the second place deck. I believe it's Decidueye Vileplume in Thursday's episode. Yeah, Thursday. This is going up Tuesday. So keep an eye out for that one, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. But until then, time out.